going on, everybody? Here on a Saturday night, and we've got none other than Dan, the Flash himself, in the house.
What's up?
Earlier, maybe about like 15 minutes ago, we actually went through and we did a watch party for an educational short, and it's kind of funny. It almost turned into a clown show again. It's like pretty comical how we think we're pretty organized, or at least I do, anyways, and it just never fails, you know. It's just so hard to get stuff done. It gets stuff started on time, and then like not to have all these issues and stuff, and you know, don't even get me started on the amount of cords I have underneath my desk over here. It's pretty obnoxious.
I think the best way to describe what happens is dumpster fire. just like everything that could go wrong ends up just fucking going wrong.
What I thought was crazy somehow through like a turn of events, you ended up with like the controls of the watch party, even though I was the one that like hosted it for us and everything. And like you ended up with the controls, and we're just like, it's one of those days where we're like, okay, well, we don't know why this thing is working the way it is, but let's just go, dude, because this is like as close as we can get to get it going.
But it worked there eventually. It was.
Yeah, it should be fun to see what I can put together. I think the timing's a little bit off in the beginning because we took those 8 seconds that we couldn't figure out what to do with, but
yeah,
I think because like we knew ahead of time it was 8 seconds. I think I can just clip. I think I can just like clip them off.
Yeah,
we'll see. It might be a jumbled mess, and if that's the case, and well, I mean, it's maybe there might be some good footage then we're fumbling around and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So how have you been?
Oh, I've been good, dude. I was thinking about like the other day when we were talking, and I was like, hey, they put WWE 2K24 for free on PlayStation, and I texted you, and you were like, thank you, I'm gonna go get that right now.
Yeah.
And I put that in, and I spent a little time with it this morning. Was the first time I got a chance with it, and it just made me really miss the older games, like WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy and all those games. And it makes me wish that they would just like think and go, hey, that engine was pretty fun. It was probably the best wrestling engine we've ever made. Why don't we like improve on that engine and then like get the graphics good and make a good game?
Yeah, I'm totally with you, because actually I had this conversation with I think it was Rudy the other day, or it might have been somebody else, but I know I've mentioned, I think, to my brother a couple times, like the old Nintendo 64 wrestling games were excellent, and for some reason they got away from the engine. And I'm with you, like I wish with all like the new hardware they have, all the new technology, like I wish we could get that game just with like not even like good graphics, just like decent graphics.
Yeah.
And then just like expand the whole like create a wrestler mode, like all like the options and stuff.
Well, because WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy improved so much on WrestleMania 2000, except for the entrances. Because when No Mercy came out, it wasn't the whole, because WrestleMania, you had created every aspect of that entrance, but No Mercy, they took some of that off. You still had a pretty good create a wrestler mode, but it was just the entrance was a little different. But the gameplay, they added the weapons and shit for No Mercy, and it made it real good. But those are the best games, wrestling games ever.
No, I agree. I was even telling somebody that, like, imagine how cool it could be, like, with the new hardware, if you could like upload like a video clip or something and have that be like your Titantron, unless you're like coming down the ramp or whatever.
Well, I noticed when because I spent most of the time I spent with that game creating a wrestler, And I noticed when we were creating I was creating the actual wrestler himself, that it had a thing that said like photo capture or something. Like it could take a picture of your face and then put it on the wrestler.
Did you ever do that?
No, not yet. I don't even have my camera hooked up for my PlayStation. But that PlayStation Plus, they give you some surprises sometimes. Like they put that Quidditch game that just came out, the Harry Potter Quidditch game. It's
Yeah.
kind of goofy graphics, like cartoony, but it's it was free, and I haven't played it really. It's all right. The little I played it, it could be fun.
I haven't actually booted up the PS4 in a very long time, and I just booted it up for the first time the other day when you told me about that game. I haven't actually like spent any time with it, but I remember for a while I was like picking up all the free games they had because I had one of those what is it, the PS Plus membership or whatever.
Uh,
Um, I picked up one time I think like on an Amazon special, like on Prime Day. I think they had like a membership like half price something like that, and so I doubled up on the month. So I like for some reason it's been like going on for a while. Like I don't know how long it is until it expires. But the free games, like I stopped downloading them after a while because sometimes they're okay, but sometimes it's like they kind of just like take up space. Like there's a few I tried that um like there was like a motorcycle one. There's just like some of the ones that were like the I don't know like the heavy with like the I think it was like a Red Bull one or something like some sort of like crazy motorsports one, and then like another one that was like a cheap racer. Like some of the games are not that great. Every now and then you'll find a good one, but some of them are not that great. And I mean, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but that Quidditch one or whatever sounds like something I'm like I don't think I'd be interested in. I don't know. Like, is it something that would appeal to people that weren't Harry Potter fans? No, I didn't think so.
well, there you know they had that game that came out recently called Hogwarts Legacy. I think, yeah, Hogwarts Legacy, and it's it takes place like 200 some odd years before Harry Potter takes place, but it was a pretty fucking fun game. It probably gonna get Game of the Year, or it got Game of the Year. I don't know. I don't remember, but it was a pretty cool. You created your own character and went to Hogwarts and got sorted into a house and did all this shit. And there was some hijinks going on from dark wizards and goblins and shit.
I never really got that into Harry Potter. I only watched the movies like years after they all came out. And at that, it took me a long time to like watch them all. I think I watched the first one and then I like never watched any of them ever again. And then like somewhere down the line, I watched them all like in a marathon.
Yeah,
The one thing I did like was that sorting hat, that thing where they like or where they like put you into a different like
yeah,
affiliate. I thought that was kind of cool because it's like almost like they like cast your fate or whatever, like just by like what direction or which house you're gonna be, which banner you're gonna be under.
yeah. I'm a pretty big nerd on it, on the Harry Potter.
That's a is a oh, okay.
It's the Deathly Hollows with the death in the middle, and then the Elder Wand is the middle of
Huh.
the
How
whole
long,
thing.
how long have you had that?
Uh, 4 years probably.
So have you ever thought about where you would have been sorted?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a Gryffindor.
Are those the good guys?
Yeah, Lions.
Okay.
That's what Harry Potter's in. Uh, there's a like any test you take or anything for. I always get Gryffindor. Like I'm not even trying. It just always happens. My girlfriend, she's Ravenclaw. My sister's Ravenclaw. Raina doesn't know what she's not is yet because she's not 11, and that's when you get sorted. Is when you're 11. Just so she's a little too young to get sorted, but I think she's gonna be a either a Ravenclaw or whichever one has ADHD. That would be her.
What are the Ravenclaws known for?
They're smarts, bookish. They're
Is that
smart
the
ones.
one that the girl was part of?
No, she was Gryffindor too.
So are any of the characters in Ravenclaw, like in the movies?
None of those important ones. It was like, but most of the ones that like, I think that Asian chick, the Cho, I think she might have been in Ravenclaw.
Oh, jeez.
But none of the
Come on, playing the stereotypes.
like Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they're all in Gryffindor. All of Ron's brothers are in Gryffindor. Um, Luna Lovegood, I think I forget was she a Hufflepuff or a Ravenclaw? No, she was Griff.
The
Uh,
Hufflepuffs are those like the artsy ones?
they're the ones we don't talk about. No, no one's running around going, I'm in the Hufflepuff house. No, no.
What are they known for?
Like there when that game came out, the Hogwarts Legacy, where you got sorted in your own house, you should play it. It's a fun game. But I mean the combat system in it, your cat have to cast spells and you block, and there's some shit going on. You go down the dark path. You could choose the dark path, which I don't see why you wouldn't, because you get the unforgivable curses. So you get the three, the one that tortures, the one that can control them, and the one that just straight out murders them. And the no shit, it could be the biggest fucking troll in the game if you save that Avada Kedavra curse up, fucking one shot in that bitch. But you can't waste it, like, because maybe you find yourself in a situation that you're getting attacked by all these trolls around you and shit. And you're like, I'm just gonna fuck them up because you got some, like, you level up your spells and shit. So Avada Kedavra doesn't just kill that one; it kills every other one that you've hit with an unforgivable curse. So if you chain it together and wait to use that Avada Kedavra at the end, you'll kill all of them with that one. But when that game came out, to my original point, when that game came out, it was like making TikToks and shit about what house they were in, and it was funny because it became into like a no one wants to invite Gryffindor to the party because they're always have to save the day and shit, and then like the Slytherins were bringing the weed, and the Ravenclaws had their whole thing they were coming, but no one was like, I'm Hufflepuff.
See, I would have assumed that the Hufflepuffs were bringing the weed. That just sounds like a stoner name, Hufflepuff.
Right, but apparently it's the Slytherins getting high, according to TikTok.
So what are the Hufflepuffs then? Are they like so? Because the only one I remember is that the blonde girl, the one that's kind of like spacey.
I think she's a Hufflepuff too. Luna Lovegood. I can't for the life of me. I always try to, let's see, Huffle.
So basically, the lions are the good ones, the Slytherin are the bad ones, and then the Ravenclaws are the smart ones. You said.
So Hufflepuff, they are, um, they value hard work, dedication, patience, loyalty, and fair play. You got Cedric Diggory. He's real important to the series because he's the guy that Voldemort murdered in the Goblet of Fire when he first came back. He was played by the vampire guy that played Batman.
Mm-mm.
I don't even think Luna Lovegood was a Hufflepuff.
Well, I guess in the grand scheme of this, it doesn't really matter because even you said it's like nobody important is really on these other houses, right, or these other banners or whatever.
Yeah, like I just looked at the whole list of notable Hufflepuffs, and like you ain't you ain't knowing any of these names except for like,
You know what I just thought of? Have you ever seen the Divergent movies?
yeah, I've read the books too.
I just really made the connection now that they're basically doing the sorting hat thing, aren't they? Like, don't they make you choose like also like what house you're part of or what family you're part of, something like that?
Well, no,
Uh-oh.
no,
No, did
no,
did I get you started on a tangent now?
no. Basically, so I just recently read these books. If I read them, I mean I listened to them on Audible while I was working, and then I went back and watched the shows, and they stopped. They didn't finish the series in the movies. It stops. But I was reading the books, and basically, you get to pick where you go, so you don't get sorted. So this chick, her whole family was in this one faction, and she's like, "No, I want to be on where all these tattooed kids are hanging out." And she went over there, and then if she gets like she threw all her fucking eggs in that basket because if she didn't make it through their initiation, then she would be a factionless and have to like leave the city and live off the land, and the whole land is supposedly
Like
a pop
Baron.
like barren and not very. I also read that fucking Maze Runner one recently too.
Yeah, I think I kind of vaguely remember watching that one, but like the reason I brought up Divergent was because like they had the different classes, and I remember her family was like they were like the ones that wore like almost like potato sacks, right? Or they wore some sort of like gray like tunics or
Yeah,
something.
pretty much. They dude, I forget what the different factions, but I know she joined Dauntless was the one she joined.
I just remember there was one called Erudite. I think they were the smart ones.
Area died. That was the smart one, and she was gonna have to fucking look it up. Can't have that. The factions.
Then there was one faction that was like almost like a faction of hippies, right? They were like the ones that grew all the vegetables, and they were like I kind of figured they were kind of like the Hufflepuff of like that universe.
So it was like it was Dauntless, and those were the fucking the ones that she joined, where she's running and jumping off of trains and shit, and
Yeah, I
real good
remember
at all that. And then there's Amity. They're the kind, and that's
that.
what
Okay,
she. No, 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 no. So yeah, and then Erudite, which were the super smart ones. Abnegation, those are the ones that are selfless, and then Candor were the honest because they had like five.
okay. Yeah, I did think that one character. I think he's from Candor was pretty funny. Um, I think it was Miles Teller plays him, the one in the movies. He's like a real jerk, but he's like kind of you kind of not sure if he's like a good guy or a bad guy through a few of the movies.
Yeah,
He's kind of like a jerk, and then he's kind of like a good guy, but then he betrays them, and then he gets back to being on their good side. Like I think later on,
yeah. I think he starts the whole thing off as a douche.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. In the book, he's the same exact way too.
and
That's
like
what.
because he's Carter of part of that Kandor tribe. He
Yeah,
does like really like douchey like observations and stuff like
I
that.
think he even tries to kill in the book. I don't remember. I haven't seen the movie. I don't think in so long, but I recently read the book. But I think in the book, he even tries to kill one of the Dauntless when they're going through the initiation, and he like ends up taking the kid's eye out or something.
That's crazy,
Yeah, if
man.
I think it's the right guy.
The book sounds a lot more hardcore than the movie, dude.
Yeah,
Because in the movie, I remember like even like their ultimate test where they make them jump off the empty like building or whatever. They make them jump into the building thinking
yeah,
they're gonna like land at the bottom, and then there's like a safety net at the bottom. That's like even that wasn't that extreme, you know? Because
yeah,
you kind of figure if you're doing that, you're like they're gonna have a net, right? I mean, they're not just gonna have us like jump to our death, right? But I guess it is kind of scary, but I guess it gets easier if you're not the first one, you know?
yeah. But she was the first one. Why
But
she was Divergent? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of I did enjoy those a little bit more than like the what was the other one, the Hunger Games. I thought the
I read
Hunger Games.
those. I've been listening to a lot of books on tape working, dude. And I read that series. I just started the Game of Thrones series from the beginning.
Oh boy,
Again, this is like, yeah, dude, and
they're
each one of those books is, I think
long.
it starts at 25 hours for the first book, and then it just each book gets considerably longer. Like I think the one I just got is 42 hours. I'm on book 3. And the good thing is I only had to buy book 1 and 2 because I owned 3, 4, and 5 already. But what's really gonna piss me off is when I get to finish 5 and George R. Martin has had plenty of time to finish book 6, and he decides to like let everybody know his thoughts on the new Game of Thrones show. I don't give a fuck, bro. Go write your damn book.
Yeah, no, I mean it's definitely. I mean that's why I said shame on me for getting involved in anything that's like not completed, so I have to depend on somebody for the rest of the story. Because if it like, because think about it, if we had known he was going to dangle the rest of the story or everybody's head at the beginning, we would have just given him the middle finger and said, "Hey, dude, we don't need your little show, dude. We can do without it, man." Like,
And what's gonna be real fucked up? What's real fucked up is when they fucking when he comes out, he changes everything that they did in the last seasons of the show because that's the way he was gonna do it, and then he saw everybody's reaction. He's like, "Oh shit,
yeah,
maybe I should have pumped. Maybe I should go a different route." So now he knows, hey, they're gonna be mad if I just make Daenerys go batshit crazy in one season,
dude.
like
What,
0 to 60 and fucking.
what if I'll take it one step further? What if he purposely created like the crappiest version of the ending he could think of, and he gave that to the show, and just like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, okay, this way people will become turn into the book afterwards and be looking for the book to give the real ending.
Yeah, because it's just this. I know I probably ran into this about this before. It's just like the fact that Jon Snow was a fucking Targaryen meant absolutely
Yeah,
nothing.
I
It
know.
was such a big secret for the fucking whole, and everybody's like, it's gotta be, he's gonna be a Targaryen, and then it happens. It meant jack shit,
Well,
jack.
the most disappointing part about like the Game of Thrones, I thought, is that I I kind of understood like a little bit, like I understood what they're trying to go for. They're trying to go for like we're gonna have like an unexpected like ending, but it didn't like match up because they had like the 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 books had set everything up to be like a really good story, and by trying to be by trying to throw everybody for a swerve, you know, trying to be unexpected, they ruined like the kind of like the um it ruined the build up of all the build up, all the story arcs that they had built up like over the long story arcs anyways. Like the whole thing with the White Walkers and stuff was like I couldn't believe they teased that with us for what 7 seasons, 7.5 seasons, and we finally got to the end. We're like, okay, it's gonna be major, and they finished it like in 2 episodes. It was
Yeah,
like I don't know. It just kind of feel like they melded in, and then like the fact they mailed it in like that, like I guess they don't owe us anything, but I mean, I it taught me a lesson like not to get involved with anything that's like not completed. That way, I'm not like waiting around for anybody. But
yeah,
you know,
yeah. But the like, it's such a cliche to say the books are so much better than the movies or the
nah,
show.
I get it. I get it.
But dude, the the way they wrote Tyrion in the books and the like just the battle of Blackwater and him and the when he's fighting Stannis's army and the at the Red Keep,
Yeah.
the landing and stuff, and he saves the day. In the book, he's a warrior in that scene. Like he's fucking everybody up left and right. In the show, they kind of made it where he's like he did a few things and then like gets like knocked out real fast, and And it's like
Yeah,
I was like, man, that sucks for him, dude. He's a
that's the good thing sometimes about like not knowing any of the source material is like you don't know any better, so you just kind of you're content with what it is. But when you read the books, you know, and so it's like when you watch the show or the movie, or whatever, it always seems like a real like oversimplification of the story or like the characters because it's like what and it's hard it's and but it sucks though because if you do it if you watch the show first and then try to go read the source material, it's hard to like see the characters other than like the actors that play them. So if you can do it the other way, it's like better because you get to like imagine them on your own, like what they're gonna look like.
well, you know, that's funny you say that because they came out with a movie years ago called Aragon, and
I remember it.
it was about this boy who finds a dragon egg and then he hatches it, but it's like set back in old times and stuff, and he's on the run and trying to and the dragon riders and all this shit. And I saw that movie, and my uncle, and he's a big like Renaissance Festival nerd and Dungeon and Dragon nerd and all that stuff. And he told me, he's like, I'm so pissed off at that movie. It sucks so bad. They didn't say nothing, stay close to the source material or nothing. And I saw the movie. I was like, hey, it wasn't a bad movie. And then recently, I finally got around to like reading that series, and
Yeah.
I was like, man, that movie's fucking garbage. The characters are so good, man. It's like they just decided not to read that book at all. Somebody told them kind of what it's about, and they're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Have you ever seen a movie called World War Z?
Yeah, with Brad Pitt.
Yes. Well, like a few years ago, I don't remember why I was gonna be out. I think I was gonna have a surgery, or I was gonna have had something I was gonna be like out of work for a little while, and a coworker like told me to read the book. She let me borrow the book, and I read it, and I was like, man, the book was freaking like really entertaining, and like, man, I can't wait to watch the movie. And I watched the movie, and it was almost like nothing like the book was like, and it's almost like they just took the title of the book and made like a different like zombie movie.
Yeah,
And
I read that one recently too.
did you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean it's been a while since I read it, so I don't remember too many of the details, but it's kind of like they tell the story like in different like points of views and stuff like that. So it's like you don't really get to see the full like story, but you see it from like different points of views,
yeah,
of different like parts of the city and stuff like that.
yeah, and at different aspects and how it started going haywire, and they started realizing it was going haywire. Yeah, it was a fucking good read. I even got the one I got. It was extended. The one I read. Hold on. Let me see what it's called. It's called the Complete Edition. Oh, I didn't mean.
You have any proof of this theory?
I didn't mean to play it. It's got a movie tie-in edition. Oh, that's stupid. Who cares? Yeah, but that was a pretty good one. Um, yeah,
Have you
I
ever
read
seen? Go
I
ahead.
read Dune recently too. The first couple books of that.
That to me something looked like a mountain I didn't even want to get started on climbing because it's just like, man, how many years of your life is gonna be like into something like that? It's like I
I
just
read
don't have the energy, man.
I read a lot recently. Like I read Hunger Games recently, and every time I finished a book on Hunger Games, I would watch the movie. And same thing with that. I watched I read half of it and then I watched the first movie and then I read the other half of it and watched the second movie. It Neither one of them were good.
I didn't think so either. I wasn't a really big fan of that series, and I always thought it was um you've seen Battle Royale, right? the I think it's like a Japanese movie, one about those.
Yeah,
To me, it always seemed like it was. I mean, maybe they didn't know about each other, but I think Battle Royale came out earlier than that than the Hunger Games did. And, like it was to me, it was like the same concept, but it was like done better. And
I thought the books were okay. I was talking about Dune. Both the Dune movie and the Dune book sucked.
oh, I just meant the Hunger Games.
No, the Hunger Games movie sucked, but the book was they were all right. I wouldn't give them like a good score, but it got I've read the whole series, so it got me through that whole thing. Dune, it was just the one book, and I was like already I wouldn't have read a book two, and apparently there's a bunch more, so I'm not gonna read them.
Like I made the effort to start the Game of Thrones books, but I think I made it to like the second book, and I just like. I mean, there's not really difficult reading. It was just to me, it was just like kind of a little bit long winded, and it's and in the way it's enjoyable because it's very descriptive. I will say that, but I just like I don't know, like after being disappointed by the show, I kind of like didn't have the interest at all to even go back and like get into like all like the the universe that he created. But I will say that is pretty impressive though, man, to be able to create a world like that with like backstories and languages and histories and stuff like that. Like that's pretty amazing. People can do that.
Yeah, I bought a game that I thought was gonna be pretty cool like that recently, and I it's not a bad game, but I would give it a 5 or 6 out of 10 total score. It could have been so much better. It's Star Wars Outlaws, and you play as some little girl, or not little girl, but she's like a woman, and there's no Jedi. Like Darth Vader shows up at one point, but you don't fight him, you don't play him or nothing. So, but
They don't want you to have
you're
too much fun.
yeah, you're in the underworld of this shit. So you're like a smuggler, and there's like 4 syndicates, and you choose to work for these syndicates, and it what you do for one syndicate can make your reputation with that syndicate go high, but it could hurt your reputation with another syndicate. And but the graphics weren't there. I feel like they rushed the game, and then like I'm running around and I'm blasting motherfuckers, and I pick up like I kill someone and I run and pick up their rifle. I don't get that rifle except for until I run out of ammo, and then I just have to throw that rifle down. I can't keep a badass rifle on me the whole time, or I can't get more rifles. All I have is my one blaster consistently that has like I get to upgrade it to different features, but I can't pick
Yeah.
up this dude's fucking badass sniper rifle for very long. And as soon as I jump, try to go up a ladder or do anything, I drop that weapon immediately. It's I can't carry it with me. It's annoying. Like I'd like to save that sniper rifle with the 6 shots for this group down here, but as
Yeah.
soon as I climb the ladder to get to them, it fucking falls.
I always think it's so weird whenever they make games like that and they create like ways to like limit the amount of fun that you have. Like I don't understand like what are they afraid of? You're just gonna be able to like do everything you want to do, you know?
Yeah, fucking bullshit.
Like ways to limit stuff. But well, that sounds pretty awesome, man. Like we'll have to catch up on that. Maybe we'll have to get into some of that game I downloaded. I've been kind of busy lately, but hopefully um I gotta get some stuff rearranged and I want to get rid of some furniture I have got. So maybe I'll get some time freed up and we can do some 2K24 like you said. But
Yeah, you got to create your wrestler. We got to pit mine against yours. But basically, I just made it Bray Wyatt's entrance. I didn't even try. I was just like, his is cool enough. I just worked on the look of my wrestler and then some of the moves.
yeah,
But yeah,
maybe I'll create a roster and I'll I don't know, maybe I can like take a screenshot or something and we can do another Google Meet and we can review my create a wrestler or something.
hell yeah.
Do something like that. But All right, man. Well, I guess before we run out of too much steam tonight, let's go ahead and wrap it up. And
Yeah.
it's cool of you to stop by, and hopefully we'll get a chance to um if we can get the watch party thing figured out, man. Let's see if we can maybe do another one at another point, and maybe not fumble around with it. And but in the meantime, yeah, just shoot me a message if you want to try something else out, and I'll see if maybe we can do this again sometime soon.
All right. Sounds
Sound
good.
good?
Yep.
All right, man. Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna sign off now, then. Thanks for coming by.
All right. Talk to you later, bud.